The equipment for a tap includes a tapping machine, a cutting tool, lubricant, a corporation stop, and if it's pipe over 12 inches, a saddle or sleeve. The tapping machine you're probably familiar with uses a chain to fasten the pipe. Just remember to tighten it slowly and uniformly on both sides. This avoids over-tightening and thus putting stress on the pipe or deforming it. Also available is this machine, designed specifically for PVC pipe with a belt fastener, ensuring an even, uniform mount. You may be able to update your chain machine with a belt in the near future. Have your supervisor consult your machine manufacturer. The cutting tool is a core type, meaning it holds on to the round plastic cutout or coupon inside the tool. These slots allow the shavings someplace to go during the cutting. The slots, a good sharp cutting edge, and a good recommended lubricant will work to keep the heat down and result in a good clean cut. Now, if you've never done a tap before, we recommend you practice by doing bench taps. This way you can become familiar with the technique. Also use a bench tap to calibrate your machine to ensure proper depth of cut for the specific class of pipe. Mark the top of the boring bar to indicate the depth of cut that will leave about 3 threads showing when the corp stop is installed to this calibrated mark. When performing wet taps or taps under pressure, it's important that you follow recommended procedures because you're in the ditch right next to the pressurized pipe. This tape is designed to show you how to do this easily and safely. The procedures we'll show you work just as well on dry taps. On the actual job site, some of your most important work occurs before you begin tapping. Weather is an important factor. When it's cold, PVC becomes hard, and you need to be careful not to drop anything on the pipe. In hot weather, take extra care not to over-tighten the tapping machine or the saddle. Just like when tapping any other pipe, Unibel recommends using proper procedures, such as 1. Wearing of safety equipment like goggles. 2. Working with another crew member at all times. 3. Having a quick exit from the hole available. And 4. Knowing where the valves are to isolate the line. When tapped properly, PVC is no more likely to fail than any other pipe. First, inspect the pipe and the corp stop to make sure they are acceptable materials. Then check the pipe size and diameter to make sure you make the proper depth of cut. Next, inspect your equipment, making sure the belt or chain is solid. Check the cutting tool to ensure it's sharp and that the threads match the threads on the AWWA corp stop. Next, determine your tap location. Do not tap closer than 2 feet from the ends of the pipe. Clean the tapping area. Place the mounting gasket on the cleaned area. Place the correct size machine base over the gasket. Unibel recommends using a tapping blanket, but in order to see the tap, we will not use it during this demonstration. Carefully install the machine into the base and begin tightening. After a few turns, adjust the machine to a 45-degree angle and finish tightening. When installing multiple taps on pipe, stagger them and place them at least 18 inches apart lengthwise. Do not tap on a bend in the pipe. There are a few exceptions to this rule, but first check with your supervisor. Remember, tighten all chain machines evenly, but do not over-tighten. The object is to provide only enough chain tension to properly hold the machine and seat the gasket. Lubricate the cutting tool, then insert it into the machine. It takes very little strength to turn the cutter. Remember to turn slow but steady. And let the feed yoke do most of the work for you by turning it slowly as the cutter turns. A good rule is to turn the feed yoke 1/8 of a turn for each full turn of the boring bar. If turning the cutter takes too much effort, or if there's a squeaking sound, stop and make sure that you're set up and cutting properly. Even when the cutter is completely through the PVC pipe wall, continue to turn the feed yoke to insert the threading portion of the cutter. Once you've inserted the threading portion of the cutter, the feed yoke must be reversed and backed out because the yoke and the tap threads have different pitches. Then continue to turn the boring bar slow and steady down to the mark that you established on the bench test. The cast iron mark on the machine is not a reliable indicator. When the tap is complete, change the ratchet and slowly, steadily reverse the boring bar and the yoke together. Because water is pressing on the bar, hold down the boring bar. This ensures against tearing or damaging the threads during removal. But do not stand behind the bar during removal. Examine the plastic coupon as you remove it from the cutter. A clean edge means a good cut. A raised crown means the cutter was fed through too fast or the equipment needs repair. Stop and check your equipment before making any new taps. Now you're ready to install the corporation stop. Again, check to make sure that you have the right size stop for the hole you've cut. Next, screw the corp stop into the easy screw plug. Check to make sure the stop is closed. Then fasten them into the end of the boring bar. Next, apply 2 complete wraps of Teflon tape clockwise around the AWWA threads. Do not use liquid sealants. Replace the boring bar and yoke into the machine and open the flapper valve. To make sure you don't damage the tape threads, use care to slowly, steadily turn the bar into the hole. And remove the ratchet handle as soon as the stop threads are firmly engaged in the pipe wall. Then, using a torque wrench, tighten the stop to 27 foot-pounds. Then snap the wrench in reverse to release the easy plug from the corp stop, close the flapper valve, and remove the machine. Remember, there should be 1 to 3 threads visible above the hole. The white Teflon tape makes this easy to see. If leaking occurs, tighten the corp stop to a torque of approximately 37 foot-pounds. If leaking persists, the tap is faulty. Cut off the pressure to the line, unscrew the stop, remove any debris in the hole, reapply the 2 wraps of Teflon tape, and replace the stop using a dry tap. As you can see, direct tapping PVC pipe is easy, as long as you remember to follow these few important procedures closely and cut slow and steady. Saddle taps are required with 4-inch pipe, class 100 pipe, pipe larger than 12 inches, and with 1 1/4 to 2-inch corp stops. These taps also require a saddle specifically designed for PVC pipe because it provides sufficient bearing, prevents distorting the pipe, and doesn't dig into the pipe. The same basic equipment is required for a saddle tap, except the machine is designed to cut through the corp stop, and the stop is designed to screw into the saddle. Attach the saddle around the pipe the same way you attach the chain machine in the direct tap, being careful to tighten the saddle slowly and evenly around the pipe. Screw the inlet side of the corp stop into the saddle threads. Then make sure the corp stop is in the open position. Attach the proper adapter, lubricate the cutter, and then attach the drilling machine. From here, the cutting procedure is the same as a direct tap. Remember to turn slow and steady. Withdraw the cutter, close the corp stop, and remove the machine. Taps larger than 2 inches, up to size on size, require a sleeve. The procedure for attaching a sleeve is similar to the saddle. The length of the sleeve required depends on the size of the pipe and the size of the tap. A table is available from Unibel to make sure you have the right sleeve. Obviously, none of these procedures are hard to learn or difficult to perform. Learning to direct tap PVC pipe is as easy as learning to use any other new tool or machine. Once you learn how, it's simple to do if you follow the procedures. Then, as your city or contractors use more and more PVC, you'll be the one ready to do the job.